Misery is one of the Beatles' early heartbreak songs, and behind its simple melody lies a great underdog story full of rejection, grit, and unexpected success. The Beatles were rejected. Then they wrote Misery, the story behind one of their first heartbreak songs, before Beatlemania, before screaming fans and rooftop concerts. The Beatles were four unknown lads from Liverpool, getting rejected left and right. And out of that rejection came their first real heartbreak anthem, Misery. You might think Misery was always meant to be a Beatles song, but it wasn't. John Lennon and Paul McCartney originally wrote it for British pop star Helen Shapiro, who was 16 at the time and already a hitmaker. The Beatles were supposed to open for her on tour. They thought she'd be the perfect voice for the tune. But her manager, he said no. Too downbeat, he said, doesn't fit her style. Ouch. So what did the Beatles do? They said, fine, we'll record it ourselves, and they did. In early 1963 at EMI Studios, later Abbey Road. Misery became one of the first Lennon-McCartney originals to be professionally recorded, a landmark moment for the songwriting duo. At this point, John and Paul were still figuring out their voice, literally and creatively. John took the lead on Misery, but Paul's harmonies brought a sweetness to the sadness. It was raw, it was simple, but it worked. They'd finally cracked something. They could write their own songs, and people would actually listen. Misery was the second track on the Beatles' debut album, Please Please Me. They recorded it fast, in under 4 hours, with George Martin even adding a piano part himself because they were moving so quickly. It's short, just 1 minute and 47 seconds. But it packed an emotional punch that most early pop songs just didn't have. Lyrically, it's teenage heartbreak 101. The world is treating me bad. Misery. But unlike most bubblegum pop at the time, there's a bitter undercurrent to it. This wasn't just mindless, it was sarcastic, resigned, even a little angry. The Beatles were still underdogs, and Misery was their theme song. Helen Shapiro's manager rejected the song. But Misery found its way into Beatles history as the first true Lennon-McCartney sad song. It paved the way for Yesterday, For No One, She's Leaving Home, and more. And Paul, he never forgot that rejection. McCartney once said, "You get knocked back, but you don't stop." That's part of being a Beatle. Misery would go on to be covered by Kenny Lynch, making it the first ever Lennon-McCartney song recorded by another artist. It was no longer just a rejected B-side. It was the beginning of a songwriting empire. Misery may not be the flashiest Beatles track, but it was a starting point, a heartbreak that turned into history. Rejection, resilience, reinvention. Sometimes misery is just the first step on the road to greatness.